When was the last time you were actually aware of the moment you are currently living? That question right there is a question that I've been asking myself recently. I think one of the biggest reasons why it hits deep, at least for me, is because it's very easy to live your life on autopilot. It's very easy to spend the majority of our days on autopilot, going through the motions, going through our routine, checking off tasks, scrolling our phone, without truly experiencing what's happening right now in front of us. If you listen to these recordings, or if you watch any of my content or consume any of my content, you'll know that I'm such a big proponent of living more in the moment and incorporating certain practices like meditation, for example, to really ground us in the present moment and bring us back into the present moment so we can appreciate, the now, because that's truly all that we ever have. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that I'm always present. That doesn't mean that I don't think about the past or I don't stress about what's to come in the future. We're all human. And in addition to that, sometimes I'll feel like I'm living my life on autopilot. Sometimes I'll feel like I'm just going through my routine, through my habits, just kind of going through the motions, you could say, without truly being aware or really experiencing what's happening right now in front of me. And I feel like this is super common for a lot of people, living their life, going through the motions, living their life on autopilot, not being aware of the life that they're really experiencing because they're just stuck in their heads 24/7. Our minds are often stuck replaying the past, worrying about the future, which means we miss out on the richness of the now, the richness and beauty of the present moment. And being aware of the now isn't just some, spiritual idea, woo-woo thing. It's truly the key to breaking free from this autopilot, just going through the motions way of living. When you start incorporating more presence into your daily life, when you start practicing presence, even if it's just for a few minutes every single day, you begin to reclaim your attention. And you'll find joy in the most simple things, in the most mundane things. And this kind of mindful awareness, you could say, is ultimately, in my opinion, the foundation for real self-growth and a life that feels truly alive, if that makes sense. I mentioned this in a recent TikTok video, but most people only really experience the present moment in flashes. Those rare moments when something either really amazing happens or really bad happens. For example, you're watching a sunset with a loved one and you're just fully in the moment. An event like that pulls you into the moment. It pulls you into full awareness of what's happening right here, right now in the moment. Another example could be, let's say you've been working toward a goal. You've been working really hard, focused on one particular goal, and finally it happens. You get to that goal and you just get this overwhelming feeling of gratitude that you accomplished something that you've been working really hard for. That moment when it happens, you just get this overwhelming sense of gratitude. It can pull you into full awareness of what's happening right in front of you. You're just sucked into the present moment, feeling that emotion of gratitude. On the flip side of that, when something really tough happens or something bad happens, that sudden jolt can also pull you into full awareness. But for the vast majority of the time, life lives in the in-between, right? In between the high of the highs and the low of the lows. For a majority of people, they live in the in-between. Most of us move through our days stuck in routines, habits, running on autopilot. We wake up, we check our phones, we scroll aimlessly, we eat something unconsciously. Maybe we're watching a video while we're consuming food. We commute, we get to work, we scroll social media a little bit more. We watch TV before we go to bed, and then we go to bed, and then we do the exact same thing all over again. And we're barely noticing our life. We barely notice what's going on around us. We're barely aware of any of it. It's like life is in fast forward or on repeat, where your mind isn't truly here. It's somewhere else, stuck in memories, worries, distractions, thinking about the future. And while listening to this, I urge you to reflect on your own life to see if there have been points in time where you felt like this, where you feel like things are just the same, where you feel like your life is on autopilot and you're not really aware or noticing what's actually happening in front of you. I can say firsthand that this has happened to me multiple times, and it's not a good feeling when you actually shine the light of your awareness onto the way that you've been living and how that way of living may not really be in alignment with who it is you want to be or how you want to show up or the way that you would like to live. Now, this autopilot mode might feel normal, but it means missing out on the richness and the beauty of everyday moments, the subtle joys, the small sensations, the simple connection to life itself. And the scary part is that over time, this can leave us feeling disconnected, stressed out, anxious, or like life is just passing us by. The good news is that you can change this. And the answer, I think, to how to change this is through doing whatever it is you can to start incorporating more presence into your daily life and just being conscious, being more aware of what's happening around you. Presence isn't just about waiting for those rare highs or those rare lows to wake you up, to bring you into the moment, to bring your full awareness into what's happening, in front of you. It's about practicing being aware right now, even in the ordinary, even in the mundane. And even if it's just for a few minutes, sporadically throughout your days, tuning into the present moment can start shifting that autopilot mode into a life that feels more lived or more vivid or more real. Something that I've started to do that's really made such a positive impact on my life and helped me no longer live my life on autopilot. Now, of course, we're all a work in progress, and sometimes we fall into these phases where we do feel like things are just going through the motions or we're just going through the motions. But something that's helped me kind of no longer feel this way is just bringing more conscious awareness into the way that I'm living my life, how I'm living, what's around me. I could be walking from point A to point B, and instead of just making that walk a means to an end, like most people do, I take a look around. I find meaning and joy in every step that I'm taking. I take in where I'm at. Maybe I feel things in my body as I'm walking that I've never really picked up on before. The way that I'm breathing, the birds chirping. These are all things that the mind kind of blocks out when it's stuck in thinking about the past, thinking about the future, thinking about to-do list. I have to get to point B because once I get to point B, I have to talk to this person who's going to tell me I did this wrong. Like, that's how most people live their life. They're just going through the motions in this routine, thinking 24/7 about what it is they have to do, who they have to email, who it is they have to contact, the grocery shopping that they have to do for this event. Like, that's how most people live their life. There's no quietness. There's no stillness. There's no opportunity for just noticing, being aware of what's going on around them. When you do have that opportunity, by quieting the mind, by incorporating more presence, things start to open up. You start noticing things that you've never noticed before. You start finding joy in the ordinary, in the mundane. You start finding beauty and awe in the most insignificant things. But that's a great feeling. It really is. You don't need to wait for something incredible to happen to pull you into awareness, to suck your full attention into what's happening right here, right now. You don't need to wait for something bad to happen to suck your full awareness into what's happening right here, right now in front of you and bring all of your awareness onto the moment. You don't. You can just live that way. And I'm not saying this is easy, especially if you've been habitually just going through the motions 24/7 mind chatter mode. Like, it's not easy, but it's just about being conscious and aware whenever you can, even if it's for 5 seconds. Noticing your breath as you're commuting or as you're talking to someone, you're just actually listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth rather than thinking about what you're about to say in response to them. So let me ask this question again. When was the last time you were actually fully aware of the moment you are currently living? When was the last time you paused to truly experience the now? Being aware of the moment is more than just knowing what's happening. It's genuinely experiencing it, feeling it, being fully present with it, without the mind labeling everything, without the mind commentating on everything you're experiencing. We don't need extraordinary, rare circumstances to wake us up. We just need to look up, pause, and notice. And the more we practice being present, the more we begin to actually see the richness and the beauty and the abundance that has always been there, hidden in plain sight. Next time you catch yourself scrolling or rushing or overthinking, just take a breath. Pause. Actually be aware of yourself living this moment. Be aware of what's around you in this moment. Because this moment, like the one that we are currently experiencing right here, is the only one that we truly have. And it deserves to be lived fully, not just passed through. I hope this recording has inspired you in some way to be present. If you can incorporate one small pocket of presence today, maybe it's by listening to this recording. Hopefully it inspires you to just be more present and enjoy what you have now and where you're at now and where you're at on your unique journey. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I hope you're having a good day wherever you're listening to this. And if you have any comments or questions about anything, you can always message me. And if you want to support what we're building here, you can go to presenceofbeing.co and grab a hat. Make sure to subscribe and like and do all of that stuff. It definitely helps. And if you haven't left a positive review yet on the podcast and you enjoy listening to these, leaving a positive review would also mean a lot. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for listening. And I will see you in the next recording very soon.